Most people spend their entire lives disturbed by things they cannot control. One insult ruins their day. One betrayal destroys their peace. One difficult moment breaks their spirit. But the Stoics discovered a powerful truth thousands of years ago. Nothing can truly disturb you unless you allow it to control your mind. If you can master this principle, your life changes forever. Before we begin, subscribe to Calm Over Chaos for more powerful Stoic wisdom that helps you become calm, disciplined, and mentally unshakable. Master this and you will never again let anything disturb you. Stoicism. Every human being wants peace. But most people search for peace in the wrong places. They think peace comes from money, relationships, status, comfort, approval. Yet even people who have all those things still suffer internally. Why? Because true peace is not created by controlling the world around you. It is created by controlling the world within you. The Stoics understood this deeply. And today, we are going to explore the principles that can make your mind emotionally untouchable. Not emotionless, but unshakable. 1. Master the difference between what you can and cannot control. This is the foundation of Stoicism. Most suffering begins when people try controlling things that were never theirs to control. Other people's opinions, the past, the future, how others behave, unexpected events. The Stoics teach that peace begins the moment you focus only on what belongs to you. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your character. There was once a fisherman named Karim who spent years becoming angry at the ocean. Whenever storms ruined his work, he cursed loudly and blamed life for being unfair. One day, an old sailor watched him rage after losing another catch. The sailor calmly said, "You are fighting water as if it owes you obedience." Karim stayed silent. The sailor continued, "The ocean does not exist to obey you. Learn to sail with it instead of fighting it." That sentence changed him forever. From that day forward, Karim stopped wasting energy on things outside his control. Instead, he improved his patience, skill, and discipline. And strangely, his life became calmer. Not because problems disappeared, but because he stopped resisting reality. Most people fight reality every day. The Stoic adapts to it. And adaptation is power. 2. Stop taking everything personally. One of the fastest ways to destroy your peace is to believe everything is about you. Someone ignores your message. You assume they hate you. Someone criticizes you. You feel personally attacked. Someone behaves badly. You carry their negativity for hours. The Stoics teach that people act according to their own understanding, pain, insecurities, and emotions. Most behavior has little to do with you. There was a young teacher named Clara whose students constantly mocked her during lessons. Every day she went home emotionally exhausted. She began doubting herself completely. One evening, her grandfather asked, "Why do you carry children's opinions like heavy stones?" Clara replied, "Because their words hurt." Her grandfather smiled gently. "If a barking dog insults you, would you lose sleep?" She laughed. "Of course not. Then why allow emotionally immature people to control your peace?" That question transformed her perspective. Slowly, Clara stopped reacting emotionally to every rude comment. She corrected students calmly instead of personally. And eventually, her confidence became stronger than their opinions. The Stoics remind us, people's actions reveal their character, not your worth. The moment you stop taking everything personally, your mind becomes lighter. 3. Learn to pause before reacting. Most people are controlled by impulse. Anger speaks before wisdom. Emotion reacts before thought. Pride answers before understanding. But the Stoics practice something rare. The power of the pause. A single moment of calm thinking can prevent years of regret. There was a businessman named David who became furious during a meeting after being insulted publicly. His hands tightened. His heart raced. He was seconds away from exploding. Then he remembered something his father once told him. A man who cannot control his temper becomes a servant to his emotions. So instead of shouting, David paused. He drank water quietly and allowed the anger to settle. Later that day, he discovered the insult came from a misunderstanding. Had he reacted emotionally, he would have destroyed an important partnership. That day taught him a life-changing lesson. Emotions are temporary. Consequences are often permanent. The Stoics believe true strength is not controlling others. It is controlling yourself. Anyone can react emotionally. Very few people can remain calm under pressure. And that calmness is what makes a person mentally powerful. 4. Accept that pain is part of life. Many people suffer twice. First from pain itself. Then from resisting the pain emotionally. The Stoics teach that hardship is part of the human experience. Loss will happen. Disappointment will happen. Failure will happen. Aging will happen. Once you accept this truth, suffering loses much of its power over you. There was a woman named Sarah who lost her business after years of hard work. At first, she refused to accept reality. Every day she repeated, "This should not have happened." Her anger became stronger than the actual loss. One morning, while walking through a quiet park, she saw an old tree broken by a storm. Yet despite the damage, small green leaves were beginning to grow again. In that moment, she realized something powerful. Nature never wastes time arguing with reality. It adapts. That realization changed her mindset completely. Instead of asking, "Why me?" she began asking, "What now?" And slowly, she rebuilt her life stronger than before. The Stoics teach that pain is not proof life is against you. Pain is proof you are alive. And mentally strong people learn to grow through difficulty instead of collapsing beneath it. 5. Master your thoughts before they master you. Most people believe every thought that enters their mind. "I'm a failure. Nobody respects me. I'll never succeed. My life is ruined." But the Stoics understood something dangerous. Thoughts are not always truth. Sometimes the mind exaggerates fear, insecurity, and negativity. There was a young athlete named Michael who lost an important competition. After the defeat, his mind attacked him constantly. "You embarrass yourself. You're weak. You'll never recover." For weeks, he believed every thought. Then his coach told him something unforgettable. "Your mind should be your servant, not your master." Michael began observing his thoughts instead of obeying them. When negativity appeared, he questioned it calmly. "Is this fact, or emotion?" That simple habit transformed him. Slowly, his confidence returned. The Stoics believed peace begins when you stop automatically accepting every mental voice inside your head. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And once you realize that, your mind becomes far more peaceful. 6. Stop seeking constant approval. Many people are emotionally controlled by other people's opinions. They change themselves to be accepted. Fear criticism constantly. Depend on validation to feel valuable. The Stoics believe this creates emotional slavery. Because when your happiness depends on approval, your peace belongs to strangers. There was a young musician named Leo who desperately wanted everyone to like him. Every negative comment online destroyed his confidence. Every criticism kept him awake at night. One day, an older musician gave him powerful advice. "If 10 people praise you and 1 insults you, which voice controls your mind?" Leo answered quietly, "The insult." The older man smiled sadly. "Then your mind is owned by criticism." That sentence changed Leo completely. He stopped creating music for approval. Instead, he focused on creating honestly and improving daily. Ironically, that confidence made people respect him even more. The Stoics teach, if you live for applause, you will die from rejection. The mentally strong do not depend on universal approval. They depend on inner integrity. 7. Train yourself to remain calm during chaos. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real test comes during difficulty. The Stoics constantly trained themselves mentally for hard times so they would not collapse emotionally when chaos arrived. There was a doctor named Hassan working during a terrible emergency. Patients screamed. Families panicked. Everything felt overwhelming. Yet while everyone around him lost composure, Hassan remained calm and focused. Later, a younger nurse asked, "How did you stay so steady?" Hassan replied, "Panic never solves problems. Calm minds do." That sentence captures Stoicism perfectly. The Stoics teach that emotional chaos clouds judgment. But calmness creates clarity. And clarity creates better decisions. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It means refusing to become controlled by them. The mentally strong person feels pressure but continues thinking clearly. And that ability changes everything. 8. Realize that time is limited. One reason people remain disturbed by small things is because they forget how short life really is. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that death is inevitable. Not to create fear, but to create perspective. When you remember life is temporary, many things stop mattering. Petty arguments, small insults, minor inconveniences, pointless drama. There was an elderly man named Joseph who survived a near-fatal accident. Before the accident, he complained constantly. Traffic upset him. Delays upset him. Small mistakes upset him. But after almost losing his life, everything changed. He became calmer, kinder, more patient. One morning, his grandson asked, "Why don't little things bother you anymore?" Joseph smiled softly. "Because I finally understood how precious time really is." That awareness transformed him. The Stoics teach that remembering death teaches you how to live wisely. And once you understand how temporary life is, protecting your peace becomes more important than winning pointless battles. 9. Detach yourself from external things. Most emotional suffering comes from attachment. Attachment to money, status, comfort, relationships, possessions. The Stoics teach that external things are temporary by nature. And if your peace depends entirely on temporary things, your peace will always remain unstable. There was a wealthy merchant named Adrian who lost nearly all his possessions during a financial collapse. At first, he felt destroyed because his identity depended on wealth. But during his hardship, he met a Stoic philosopher who asked him, "When your possessions disappeared, did your character disappear too?" Adrian stayed silent. The philosopher continued, "Then perhaps you lost less than you think." Those words stayed with him. Slowly, Adrian rebuilt his life differently. This time, he valued wisdom more than luxury. And strangely, he became happier with less. The Stoics remind us: use external things. Appreciate them. But never depend on them for inner peace. Because anything external can disappear. But character remains. 10. Learn the power of silence. Most people speak too quickly. They react too quickly. Argue too quickly. Defend themselves too quickly. The Stoics understood the hidden strength of silence. Silence gives you control. There was a young man named Ethan who constantly argued online and in real life. Every disagreement became emotional warfare. One evening, his grandfather watched him angrily typing during an argument and asked, "Have you ever noticed how peaceful silent people often seem?" That question stayed in Ethan's mind. So he began practicing silence during conflict. Not weakness. Control. Instead of immediately reacting, he listened more carefully. And slowly, his life became calmer. He realized most arguments are fueled by ego, not wisdom. The Stoics teach that silence protects energy. And mentally strong people do not waste energy proving themselves to everyone. 11. Understand that other people's actions are beyond you. One of the hardest lessons in life is accepting that you cannot control others. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot force honesty. You cannot force kindness. There was a woman named Rachel who spent years trying to change her husband's destructive habits. She begged, argued, cried. Nothing worked. Eventually, an older friend told her, "You are trying to control another person's soul." That sentence shattered her illusions. Rachel finally realized she could only control her own decisions and boundaries. That realization brought unexpected peace. The Stoics teach that trying to control others creates endless frustration. Because people change only when they choose to change. The mentally strong stop exhausting themselves trying to fix everyone around them. 12. Build inner peace daily. Peace is not achieved once. It is practiced daily. The Stoics trained their minds constantly through reflection, discipline, gratitude, and self-awareness. Mental strength is built quietly. There was a gardener named Samuel who watered his plants every morning before sunrise. A neighbor once asked him, "Why do you care for them every single day?" Samuel smiled. "Because neglect is slow destruction." That principle applies to the mind too. Most people neglect their inner world until chaos consumes them. The Stoics understood that peace requires daily maintenance. Your thoughts matter. Your habits matter. Your focus matters. Every day, you are either strengthening your mind or weakening it. And small daily disciplines eventually create an unshakable spirit. Final thoughts. Nothing in life becomes less dangerous than a disciplined mind. Insults lose power. Fear loses power. Failure loses power. Chaos loses power. Because once you master your inner world, external events no longer control your peace. This is the heart of Stoicism. Not becoming cold. Not becoming emotionless. But becoming steady. Calm in pressure. Wise in difficulty. Disciplined in suffering. Remember this. The world will always contain chaos. But you do not have to carry that chaos within yourself. So the next time life tries to disturb your peace, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this situation controlling my mind, or am I controlling my response to it? That single question can change your entire life. If this message helped you, subscribe to Calm Over Chaos for more Stoic wisdom that strengthens your mind, sharpens your discipline, and helps you remain calm in a chaotic world.